So Simon, you mentioned levels in scenesism earlier. Could you elaborate?
Sure, Alice. But first I'll tell you something that might not make sense right now, but soon will. You are levels, level 0. Okay?
Okay.
Great, now I'll explain what levels means. You see, we all differ in our abilities and talents. For example, my special talent is computers and programming. And you are a very talented piano player. Your friend Tom plays tennis very well. And so on. Those who have a talent in something have a superior level of ability in it that others who don't have the talent can't reach.
What about hard work?
Hard work is important, but a hard-working person without talent will never accomplish what a hard-working person with talent can. And most of the time, a person with a talent also enjoys using it. I love computers, you love playing the piano. Even if I did take piano lessons and worked very hard at it, I wouldn't enjoy playing the piano as much as you do.
True.
Congratulations. You are now level 1.
Hot? Oh. Okay. I got it.
Talents are actually a good thing because they allowed us to specialize. Instead of being jacks of all trades, we can focus on the few things we are good at and master them. Thus in a society, we all complement each other. When you have a problem with your computer, you come to me. When I want to listen to piano music or take piano lessons, I come to you. This is better than both of us having a mediocre ability in computers and playing the piano. If you try to do too many things, you'll spread yourself too thin and won't be good at any of them. Guess what? You're now level 2 in levels.
Sweet.
Now, just like computers and playing the piano, there are other things like science, architecture, stock market, languages, and so on that people can be talented in. There are also other things that you think don't require talent, such as being a good person, living a healthy life, and being happy. But these things actually do require talent. This is one of the reasons why atheism doesn't actually work. Most people don't know how to be good, live healthy, and be happy. They turn to religion because atheism doesn't tell you how to do any of these things. The atheists instead point to the big book of science and say, all your answers are in there. But that doesn't help those who are searching for simple answers to life's questions. Atheists like to point out that there are no easy and simple answers to life's questions. So the seekers turn to religions, who are only too happy to provide simple answers to life's questions. And the answers that the religions provide do enable their adherents to live successful lives. It is the reason why religion is important and will never go away. With me so far?
Makes sense.
Excellent. You're doing well. You're now level 3. You'll find that things are getting more and more complicated. At some point your mind just won't be able to accept anymore. The last level of information that you understood will be your level number. Let's suppose that the last level you understood was level 4. And since we are talking about the concept of levels, you would therefore be level 4. This, incidentally, is level 4 information. Shall we proceed?
I think I need a moment to digest that.
That's all right, Alice. The basic idea is that not everyone has the time, energy, inclination, or talent to be high level in everything. So we try and learn just enough from those who are at a higher level in order to lead our lives successfully. Doing this frees up time for ourselves so that we can focus on the things we are high level in and help those who are lower level in those things so that they learn just enough to lead their lives successfully. This is also approximately level 3 information, so you will probably understand it.
Okay, that I understood.
Now, the level numbers I've been using to explain the concept of levels here are arbitrary. In other words, I just made them up. In reality, there could be thousands of levels per concept, or there could be 15. Just assume for a moment that I'm level 10. But there are others out there who have the potential to be higher level than me in the study of levels. Perhaps level 15 or 20. I imagine that these people would be experts at categorizing information. Sort of like librarians on crack. I'll call them levelizers. Now, what I've just said is level 5 information. Again, that number is arbitrary. And if you understood that, you're now level 5 in levels. With me so far?
I think so. Continue anyway. I'm understanding bits of it. It's very interesting.
Now, these levelizers, potential levelizers actually, because they're not levelizers yet, they don't actually know that they have the potential to be levelizers just yet. They don't know, because right now, they don't have the prerequisites, one of which is scenesism, level 10. Right now, they are Scientism, level 0. They just need someone with a high Scientism level, me for instance, to activate and teach them, until they are Scientism level 10. Once that happens, higher levels of levels will start to make sense and they can proceed to properly levelize Scientism. Once that happens, I won't need to use arbitrary level numbers anymore.
I see. Could you give me an example?
Sure. It's exactly like how in a course of study at university, you need to do Math 101 before you can do Computer Programming 102. And you need Computer Programming 102 to do Software Development 203.
Now I understand.
I think you understood the basic concept of levels, so I won't make up arbitrary level numbers to illustrate my point anymore. Okay?
Okay.
So you see, in real life, we need people who are morality level 10 to help those who are at morality level 1 live their lives successfully. And in turn, these people who might be plumbing level 10 or law level 10 can focus their time and energy on those who are plumbing level 1 or law level 1 live their lives successfully. In the Church of Scientism, you who are at music level 10 could play music during worship, thus helping those of us who are at music level 1 to worship more effectively.
Wow. It's specialization again, isn't it? Just like you were saying before?
Exactly. You see, most people don't have the capability to develop their own life philosophy. Non-religious people develop a life philosophy by reading many books on numerous subjects, reading countless articles on the internet, discussing endlessly with others, and so on. Most people have simply got better things to do. Which is why they turn to religion, because religion gives them a life philosophy. Religious leaders specialize in one religion, and they break it down so that ordinary people can understand. For science to be a viable option for people, it has to be transformed from the big book of science into something that gives people simple answers that people can immediately use and then go about their business. But that's not all. Science also needs to give satisfactory positive answers to metaphysical and spiritual questions. If there is no satisfactory positive answers to these questions in science, they will turn to religion.
What do you mean by a positive answer?
To a question like where will my soul go after I die, a negative answer would be there is no such thing as a soul. This answer will not satisfy. A positive answer, on the other hand, might be your soul starts on the long journey towards the center of the galaxy, where it joins science in splendor and glory. After 1,000,000 years, when science has completed his life cycle, he, along with the countless trillions of souls, begin the exodus to the great attractor. This explanation might be true or false, we'll never know, but it works.
I guess so.
Anyway, the surviving religions of today were recorded at some point in the past, and have been passed down through the years in this recorded form. For example, the Torah and Talmud, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Pearl of Great Price, Hubbard's writings and recordings, and so on.
Hold on. Who is Hubbard? And the Pearl of Great Price? What is that?
That is religion level 9. Don't worry about it. It's not very important for you to know what they are at this stage.
Okay.
Anyway, unfortunately these texts I mentioned are too dense for most people to read and understand by themselves. In fact, the majority of religious people have never read their religion's scriptures. Instead, they rely on their religious leaders to break it down for them. Those who are able to read the scriptures without assistance may choose to go on to become religious leaders themselves. This is why we have a hierarchy in all religions. In Catholicism, for example, there is the Pope, cardinals, bishops, priests, nuns, etc. The Pope might be Catholicism level 15, cardinals might be level 13, bishops might be level 10, priests might be level 8, and nuns might be level 6.
I doubt that any Catholic would describe it that way.
That's because they've never looked at it from this angle before. You see, religion level 7 is required in order to understand what I've just said. The Pope might be Catholicism level 15, but he's not yet religion level 7. I suspect that he would find it easier to reach and surpass religion level 7 if he wanted to quite easily. In any case, even if he did know, it would be in his best interest to not show it.
Haha. You're right.
Anyway, I think I've said enough for now. You should take some time to think about these things. There is more, much more, but there is only so much that can be said in 10 minutes.
Thanks for teaching me, Simon. Science be with you.
Science be with you, Alice.